Evening, everybody. I haven't been on here for a while. Apologies. Just been very busy. I have been on other shows though, so you have seen me out and about. I hope you're all well, and I hope you can hear me okay. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay. Wanted to do this show. Obviously, there's been the Mo Salah interview. Where he got caught outside the ground, and he obviously spoke to Paul Gorst from the Liverpool Echo, and obviously mentioned about his contract. I think we all need to understand that this was by design. Like this was planned. He was always going to stop and talk after the game. This is typical Mo. That's what he does. Like he did it on Sky. Virgil van Dijk's done the same now. He's mentioned about contracts. It's interesting that they seem to be the only ones that have, and Trent hasn't said a word, which I find really interesting. I've got a couple of things I want to go over. There's obviously a lot of clickbait, a lot of chat, a lot of nonsense from a lot of people who you'd expect better from, if I'm honest. The usual suspects, David Ornstein, also Melissa Reddy, seem to be the ones who've got a bit of common sense. But you've got a load of other idiots that are just waffling and they know nothing. Like nobody knows anything about Mo's contract. The only people who know about Mo's contract is Remy Abbas, who's probably been speaking to the club, and the club. Mo will not be given a contract until it's agreed by his agents and the club. Like they're just not going to throw a contract in front of him that he's going to reject. So there'll be conversations that have been going on. It's just Mo hasn't been given a contract to sign. That, like, Mo was asked a simple question, like, have you been given a contract to sign? And he said no. Well, he hasn't. He hasn't been given a contract to sign yet. There's going to be conversations going on. It's not like club just haven't done anything. Like, it's nonsense. Like, there's going to be conversations between his agents and his representatives and the club, and also Virgil van Dijk's representatives and the club. They're not just going to speak to the player. They'll speak to the people who manage the players. It's not how it works. Like, we know this. Like, for us to all go crazy about it is a bit premature. Like, we all knew that Mo was probably going to get offered his contract in December. You know, same as Virgil. We all knew that it was probably going to be the latter end of the year, like when they were going to be given their contracts. And it looks like it is. Like, there's no need to panic. Like, and this is the reason why I've listed the show name as Mo Salah or Slot. Who is more important? Who is more important to Liverpool? Is it the coach or is it just Mo Salah on his own? Because we need to get out of this idea that we can't do anything without certain players in our team. I just think it's nonsense. Like, we can certainly do things without players in the team. Like, we now have a team. We don't have a bunch of individuals. We now have a team. For too long, we've relied on too many people at Liverpool through the previous regime, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't win you every trophy. It doesn't keep you in all the competitions. Like, it doesn't get you over the line if you rely on certain individuals all of the time. And this is what we've got with Liverpool now. We have a team. And you may sit there and say, oh, but Mo Salah's got, what, 10 goals and 6 assists this season already? And that's true. But if Mo Salah isn't getting the ball, then somebody else is getting the ball in his position. Somebody else will be there. It will be Diaz. Like this season, it would have been Diaz. Like it may well be Harvey Elliott. Like it may well be Chiesa. Like if he was fit. Like it could be Dominic Szoboszlai. He might play Dominic Szoboszlai there if Salah wasn't there. And then you've got another position that can be filled with Curtis Jones, or McAllister can move further forward. Like we genuinely don't know how it's going to look because the manager hasn't got any players, 0 players. Like he bought a goalkeeper that's at Valencia, and he bought a striker who was injured consistently. Like, so we've got no actual data on what Slot would do, how well the team would play with his players, because he hasn't got his players. And he's playing with the cards, with the hand that he's been given. And he's been given a good hand, let's be honest. He's been given a good deck of cards. He really has. But he really has got some jokers in there. And the sooner they get taken out of the team, the better we are. And I'm talking about Andy Robinson and I'm talking about Darwin Núñez. Because these two guys are going to let us down. They're going to let us down this season. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But everybody going crazy about the Mo Salah thing is just, it's ridiculous. Like, it really is. Like, we know that he wants to stay. And we know what we have to do to keep him. And we have to offer him what he wants, because that's what happened last time. He was on 240 grand a week, I believe, or maybe 240 he was on. And it took us to break our wage structure and go to 350 to keep him. And I believe he wants another pay rise. And we could be looking at 400, we could be looking at 450. It's just not going to happen. There's going to have to be a compromise. And I'm going to share my screen now, actually, because there's some interesting stuff which I'm just going to share here now. So this is, look, at the end of the day, there's only a couple of journos that we actually trust, okay? And one of them's David Ornstein. David Ornstein's been pretty much bang on for a lot, and also he gets a lot of information directly from the club. And David Ornstein said it's clear Salah wants to stay at Liverpool and vice versa, but it will come down to whether Liverpool can meet his expectations. And this is what I've mentioned on many shows. He needs to know that Liverpool are heading in the right direction, and he's clearly seen that we are, and the ball is now in our court, as in Salah's now said, look, I want to stay. And he's come out and he's expressed this twice now. And it's time for Liverpool to give him his contracts and to have discussions about what it's going to take for him to stay. And for me, it's a genius move by Liverpool, because it would have been a case of overpaying the players to stay and offering them something that they clearly had no idea what they were going to be offered. Like, and also promising them something which we didn't know whether we could deliver. Like, they didn't know that Arne Slot was going to come in and, win pretty much every game apart from one loss and one draw, like all season. I think it's 17 out of 18 games he's won. 16 out of 18 games he's won. So they didn't know he was going to be that prolific. They didn't know. Like, they had no idea, because this is a brand new guy. So now they've seen exactly what he's capable of. That they're all on board. Like, get me the contract. Like, Virgil van Dijk will be signing soon, and Mo Salah will follow suit. And whether Trent stays or not, I really don't care now. And to be honest, I'm not really sure Slot's that bothered either. Like, it doesn't seem to be someone that he keeps on the pitch 90 minutes every game anyway. He's constantly being subbed. I really don't know about that one, but it's the Virgil van Dijk and the Salah contracts which will need to get over the line. And look, whether we like it or not, it's down to the club whether they keep these players. It's totally down to the club, and you can turn around and say anything you want about, whether Hughes and Edwards are making the right decision. But all I know is that Edwards doesn't make rash decisions. He's very pragmatic. He thinks about every tiny bit of detail, and he won't be forced into anything. And this has got nothing to do with FSG. Nothing to do with FSG. This is solely down to Edwards and Hughes. And it's discussions between them whether Mo Salah and whether Virgil van Dijk will receive a contract renewal. It's as simple as that. And if they don't think it's worth it, then they don't. And then we go and buy other players. We just go and buy other players. And if you think that's right or wrong, then it's totally irrelevant, because it's the club that have made the decision. I want Salah to stay. I want Virgil van Dijk to stay. Yeah, lots of other people do. But that's not going to make any difference whatsoever. It's the club that are going to decide that matter. And there's going to be conversations with Slot, and there's going to be conversations between Hughes and Edwards and the department, whether offering them, I don't know, 300 grand for Virgil and 400 grand for Salah, because that's the type of money they'll get if they go to another club. It's whether they want to commit to a 2-year, 3-year contract. I've heard Salah wants 4. I've heard Virgil wants 3. Like, it's just not it. It's something we can't offer, because we just don't give big contracts to old players. We just don't do that, and you shouldn't do that. Like, it should be a case of a 2-year deal with a 1-year extension. That should be really what it is, and they should understand that. That's kind of what Milner got. That's what we kind of offer players. That's what older players get offered. So for them to be expecting 4 years and 3 years is just, it's not going to happen. And I just feel that there needs to be a compromise here. And there's other bits as well which have been mentioned in this. Where is it? Where is it? 2 seconds. So the Melissa Reddy piece is here. Yeah, so the Melissa Reddy piece is here. So this is, Jamie Carragher's come out and said he's desperate to stay. Melissa Reddy has said, where is it? Yeah, this is the Melissa Reddy one, which is the one I really would pay attention to, because she was she was in a relationship with Sadio Mane, so she's really close to the club and the players, especially Mo. So you can understand why Salah termed it this way. He doesn't have a new offer on the table. It's nearly December, and he can speak to overseas clubs in January. It's important to stress negotiations are ongoing between Liverpool and Salah's representative, Remy Abbas. I'm told those are open. developing conversations, but ultimately a formal proposal is only made when you've agreed on all terms you are discussing. Just like I said, like, why are you going to put a deal in front of him knowing that you haven't discussed you haven't dotted all the I's and the T's? You haven't crossed the T's, you haven't dotted the I's, and you haven't spoken to his agent enough. All of this needs to happen before anything goes in front of him. So he hasn't lied by what he said, but he just hasn't said that, oh yeah, Liverpool's speaking to my agent, which he would well know is happening. But he wants to put pressure on the club. And of course he does. Of course he wants to put pressure on the club because he wants to stay. Things are progressing in the right direction, but obviously there is a gap between what Salah wants and what Liverpool are prepared to put on the table. There has to be a compromise. Of course there does. Mo wants a 4-year deal. Liverpool are probably going to offer him 2, and maybe with a 1-year extension. And I'm pretty sure Mo wants a bump. Pretty sure Mo wants a pay rise because this will be his last contract at Liverpool. So he would want 400 grand. I can't see him accepting what he's on. I can see him wanting more money. He still wants to compete for domestic titles and the Champions League. If he's looking around, which top club has the space for him and the ability to pay what he deserves and give him the freedom he wants? He's made it abundantly clear that he loves Liverpool and wants to stay. And it's just down to both parties. And she's not wrong. She's not wrong. Like, discussions will be ongoing and something will happen in December. And if it doesn't, then Mo leaves. Then Mo just leaves. And we just have to move on with life. Like Liverpool will be fine without Mo Salah. Like, we will be fine without Mo Salah, and we will be fine without Virgil van Dijk. Like, we will. We will find a way. We will buy another player. Someone else will get a chance. And I understand these are fantastic, iconic players. I totally understand that. But everybody was going crazy. If Trent wasn't in the team, we were garbage. If Ali wasn't in goal, we were rubbish. Ali's not been in goal for months and months, and we've been fine. Trent's been missing for many, many games, and we have been fine. Mo Salah went to the AFCON and then got injured for a month. We were fine. We were fine. We were winning games. We weren't conceding goals. Our right back position looked solid. We lost 2 left backs last season and we ended up playing Joe Gomez. We were fine. We will be fine without Mo Salah. We will be fine without Virgil van Dijk, and we will be fine without Trent. If they all go, we will be fine because we will replace them, or other players will get a chance. And this coach has the minerals. He does. And he signs fantastic players for positions that he needs players to play in. And I wanted to show you Arne Slot's signings that he signed for his previous club. It's a cat and mouse situation. Let's read that. It's a cat and mouse situation. Virgil van Dijk won't ask astronomical wages. They want Trent first and then compete salaries. I totally get that as well. Like, I always thought that they wanted to get Trent done so Trent couldn't demand what Mo and Virgil were getting. And it was also a way of not paying Trent insane wages. Because if Mo got a 400 grand contract, then Trent would go and ask for a 400 grand contract. And I think he is anyway, but we're never paying it. We're never paying a right back more than 250 grand. Never. Never in a million years. What else have we got? Big up EMJP. So K-Mac, I'd pay 400k put it this way, even if he falls off a cliff, I'd pay it anyway. He deserves it. For me, he totally deserves it. Like, he really does. Like he scored 100 away goals. Like, so far. Like, he's literally just gone 300 goals in his entire career. Like, he's just hit 300 goals in his entire career now. Like, he's a phenomenon. He really is. I wanted to show you this as well because it's funny. I've got a couple of funny ones that I wanted to show you. Mo's also scored as many goals as Everton, just for shits and giggles. and also, can we shut up with that conversation about Cole Palmer, Erling Haaland, and Baku Saka? Yeah, because Mo's now on 16 GA. Just go in there, and he just finished. Yeah. What else do we want to talk about as well? I also wanted to talk about the league as well, because I find it really weird that we have so many other fans kind of saying that Liverpool shouldn't be where they are, like as in it's a fluke, or it just doesn't make sense. Like the way we're playing doesn't compute to the way that we to the league position that we're in. When you've literally got Opta, who run all the data for everything, and they actually put us at a 76% chance of winning the league, compared to Manchester City, who's 43% of winning the league. So everything kind of tallies up to where we are. And there's also another stat that came out, which I really don't want to say because it's a bit mad, but the points that we're on at the moment and the amount of points we are ahead, there's three other teams that have done it, and they've gone on to win the league, all three. One of them was Manchester United and one of them was Chelsea. So I think that's quite an interesting one. Also, Arne Slot is now a level best winning record in a Premier League ever, with Gust Hiddink, who has got the same number of points but didn't score as many goals, which is 28 points, I believe. So that's another record which is I'm probably going to get broken. It's quite insane. What I did want to show you though is I wanted to show you I get that we're all going a bit crazy because Mo might leave. Personally, I don't think he will. And obviously he's been massively involved in a lot of our goals and assists this season. It's hard not to understand that because he has. But I just wanted to show you some of the players that Arne Slot signed for his previous club, which was AZ. Sorry, Feyenoord, not AZ. Feyenoord. He was at AZ, but this is Feyenoord, and he won the league, and he also won a cup, and he also got to a Europa League final with this team. So this team was competing on all fronts, and they won championships, and they won cups. Okay, so they weren't shit. Okay, so I just wanted to show you some of the players that he signed. So his star centre-back was David Hanchko. Okay, David Hanchko still plays for Feyenoord. He's still one of their star players. He plays as a left-sided centre-back, but he can also play left-back. But his predominant position is left-sided centre-back. He was signed for 7 million euros. Sorry, he signed for 8.5 million euros, I believe. Let me just double check. Let me get rid of him. So he was signed for 8.3 million euros in 2022. He's now worth 35 million euros. He's gone from 8 million to 35 million. And that's because of Arne Slot. Arne Slot found a great player and made him better. Signed him when he was 24. Now he's 26. And he will go to a big club for a lot of money. Like, he will. That's just a fact. I wouldn't be surprised if Virgil went, then we might actually go and sign him as his replacement. Like, it's a player that could fit in there and do a job. Arne Slot knows him well. He's on a trajectory where he signed him when he was quite young. He's now had a lot of experience. He's already played 4 times in Europe this season. I mean, he's playing against Manchester City on Tuesday, I think, on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see how well he gets on if you want to watch him. Yeah, I mean, that's just one player. I'm just picking one player out. Okay, we can look at another player that he signed. So he signed Quinten Timber. He signed him from FC Utrecht for 7 million. He's won every trophy, pretty much. He's worth 35 million now as well. He's also a Dutch international. He can play defensive midfield, centre midfield, and also attacking midfield. But his main position is centre midfield. He was signed for 7 million. He's now worth 35 million. He's played in the Champions League this season. He's got 2 assists. He's also played in the Eredivisie, and he's got 4 goals. Look, what I'm trying to get across here is Arne Slot is very good at making players better, getting the best out of players and improving them. I've just named 2, David Hanchko and Quinten Timber. I haven't even talked about Gimenez and Stengs and Piaco. I haven't even mentioned these 2 players. Like, these 2 players, those 3 players that I'm gonna cover in a minute, they went on leaps and bounds as well, and they were signed for even less. And this is what I'm trying to say, that I know we're all fearing that we may lose Mo, and we may lose Virgil, and we may lose Trent. Arne Slot can replace those players. You can't replace them as their iconic value and the fact that they probably are the best in the world in those positions. But that doesn't mean that we can't keep on challenging. That doesn't mean that because Virgil van Dijk goes, we can't defend anymore, when we clearly can. Because Virgil van Dijk didn't play against Brighton in the Cup or against West Ham in the Cup. And we went to Brighton and we beat them 3-1. And we beat West Ham 5-1 at Anfield without Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah. So we clearly can beat teams without these 2 players in the team, because we've done it before. And when we've had Virgil missing for an entire year, we still managed to get into Europe. We still managed to produce, but we played different players. This is different. This is different with Slot. It's so much different than Jurgen. It really is. It really is. So we just have to look at a couple of individuals in the team right now. Like Ryan Gravenberch is like, it's just this monstrosity of a midfielder now under Slot. He just wasn't under Jurgen, and he wasn't under Tuchel, and he wasn't under Nagelsmann. And he was nowhere near the Dutch national team under Koeman. Like, he was a bench player. Now he's the first on the sheet. Now he's straight in the team. Like, there's Gapco, there's Gravenberch, and there's Virgil van Dijk. And they are like in the team straight away. And it's no surprise. Like Arne Slot has turned this Gravenberch into this different animal. And he can do that with other players. He's made Konate into this absolute colossus who's probably playing better than Virgil. Like, he's getting form out of Diaz. He's getting goals out of Diaz. You know, carrying on with Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones is now continuing the form that he had from the season before. You know, Dominic Szoboszlai is now starting to score more goals. He's got 2 goals now. 2 goals in 10 games. Like, we might get more goals out of him now. Cody Gapco looks like a different player now. No more ghosting in games. Heavily involved. More goals, more assists. Starting to play him in a natural position on the left-hand side. This is what we get out of this coach. So some of his other players he signed. Calvin Stengs, he signed him for 6 million from Nice. He's won everything as well. He's also a Dutch international with 8 caps and 3 goals. No idea why he hasn't played more. He plays in the Szoboszlai position. He's also the son-in-law of Frank de Boer. I never knew that. Obviously, he's not worth a huge amount of money. I thought he would cost a lot more. But Santiago Guimaraes, we definitely look at him. So we signed this guy for 6 million. He's got 5 goals. He's got played 5 games, got 2 goals, 1 assist. He's now worth 40 million euros. Like, he turned him into a much better player. Igor Paxio as well. He's not worth a huge amount of money, but he also improved this guy as well when he signed him. He's only got 3 goals. He's got 7 assists though in 13 games. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's a Brazilian guy that he signed. So I'm just showing you that some of the players that he signed, like, he did really well with them. Like Mats Wiefer, like 500,000 he signed Mats Wiefer for. They sold him for 35 million to Brighton. 32 million he cost to Brighton. They signed him for 500,000. What a player he was for them. He's basically playing the Gravenberch position. So yeah, I just wanted to show you some of the players that he signed. He hasn't signed anyone at Liverpool yet. He signed Mamadashvili, who could go on to be a world-class goalkeeper. He really could. And he also signed Chiesa for 10 million, who's just a bargain. Like, it's just a free hit. Yeah, no, Staines maybe wasn't the best one to pick out. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say though, LK, is that he made them better players. He improved them, and he increased their value. It's way too much for a 4-year contract. It is. That's what I was trying to say. The midfield I'd love to partner Grav would be Belieber. Yep, I think Belieber's a player we're looking at. I think he is. So I also wanted to show you this as well. So this is actually Arne Slot's career. So Feyenoord, 148 games, 97 wins, 27 draws, 24 losses, and he only used 66 players. So points tally really is 2.15 per game, which is it's brilliant. It really is. It's top draw stuff. And so far at Liverpool, 18 matches, 16 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss, 25 players used. Like he's used his squad. You know, he's used 25 of our players. He's used basically the whole Premier League squad that he has. I mean, obviously, those 25 players, there's probably 6 or 7 which have only played 1 game, 2 games max. And that was probably the cup games. But as you can see, it's 2.7 points per game, and it's an average of 2.3 goals per game and 0.67 goals against. So it's less than a goal a game against. And even a Feyenoord, his numbers match the same as Liverpool. Like, this is what I'm trying to say. This is what this guy can deliver. He's delivering the same kind of numbers that he was doing at Feyenoord, which got him championships, it got him cups, it got him cup finals, it got him Europa League finals. You know, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, his numbers kind of add up the same. There's no anomalies. It's not a case of, oh, we had like 40 chances and scored 1 goal. Like, it doesn't work like that with him. It all kind of sits right. The data looks perfect. Like, the goals against, the goals for, it all kind of sits in the right bracket. And it did with Feyenoord and it does with Liverpool. You know, he's got an average of 2.3 goals per game for Feyenoord and 1 goal against. Like, you know, right now, it's the same. It's exactly the same. It's 2.33 goals per game at Liverpool, and it's 0.67. He's got better players. He's got better defenders. So they will have a better defense. I just think the proof's in the pudding right now, and we're starting to see what this guy can deliver. And if you just look at the blips that we've had, because we've had a few blips. We had a blip at Forest at home because he played all of his international players and we were off it, and he learnt his lesson. And they did beat us with a worldie. They had 2 shots in the game, 2 big chances in the game, and it was a worldie. Like, we could have scored 2 goals ourselves in that game, but we missed big chances. Predominantly, Dominic Szoboszlai missed a very big chance in that game. It was a great save, but it was a big chance. And then you've got Chelsea at home. That was a hard game. That was also after the international break. But he learnt his lesson and he rested his players. And resting McAllister and resting Diaz seems to be key, because you can bring them on fresh legs for the last 30 minutes and they flip the game on the head. Same with Endo. He rested Endo as well because he travelled further than anyone else, because he played in China. And then you've also got the game that we've just played, Southampton, which was another international break where there was leggy players. I thought Konate looked leggy. I thought Virgil van Dijk maybe was carrying a slight knock still. You know, Andy Robertson was just awful. He was just all over the place. Like, you know, the problem with Andy Robertson is because he was too far forward, and it's the fact that the right-hand side is the player that Slot wants to attack. You know, he wants Bradley to get forward. He wants Bradley to do the underlap, so Mo Salah will have space. Mo Salah would not have got the chances today if in that game. He wouldn't have got those chances if it wasn't for Bradley underlapping and overlapping him and creating space for him to move into. But the problem was Robbo was playing like a third forward, doing nothing. Like, I'll give him credit. Like, if it wasn't for his run in the 83rd minute, I think it was, and it wasn't for Mo Salah finding him, and then their player handballed, then we wouldn't have got a penalty. So I'll give him credit for that. But he was in a position that he shouldn't have been in, and he was at fault, even though it wasn't a penalty. Like, even if you look at the replay, he was not fouled in the box, so it's not a penalty. But he was still at fault. And then also the second goal, which was from a counter-attack from our corner. Robbo ran for the ball on the right-hand side and got in the way. And also Connor Bradley went for the ball as well. But Connor Bradley was supposed to go for the ball because it was on his side of the pitch. Robbo should have stayed with the runner that was on the left-hand side. But in the end, Darwin Núñez must have done about an 80-yard lung-busting run, but never got there in time. But the whole game had lots and lots of faults in it, and most of them were from Andy Robertson. And like I've said, he's going to let us down this season. And Darwin Núñez is not going to score the goals that we need. So just get rid of him out of the team. Just move him on. Like, he needs to find a new club. Andy Robertson, he can go and play for Celtic or Rangers. I don't care now. Like, you've been a legend for us, but now it's becoming embarrassing. You've been really, really shit this season. And you've had a lot of players that have had to bail you out. And I'm done with it. It's going to get to a stage where Virgil van Dijk's going to have to go in for a challenge or do something which he's not used to doing. And we're going to end up with the left-hand side of the pitch being, I don't know, being overrun, because everybody seems to be focusing on the left-hand side now. Because Robbo's the weak link. He just is. He's the weak link in games. What have you got to say? What's the crack? Just popping in with... Enjoy, mate, enjoy. So as you can see, Arne Slot's got a great record, and the numbers match with what he's doing at Liverpool. So it's not out of the ordinary. This is what he delivers. I also wanted to cover the actual game. So just a little bit of info on the game. This was Liverpool's first Premier League away game in which they scored first, fell behind, and then and then came from behind themselves since January 2016. Liverpool do not get back into games like this. We never did. We never got back into games like this. In games like this, we draw or we lose. We do. Under Arne Slot, it's a different animal. It's a different animal with tactics and substitutions that change the game. Look, they had some chances. Most of their chances come off a penalty, which was then saved, which then was another chance. Yeah. Another one was a Robbo error. Another one was another Robbo error and also an error by Conor Bradley. Conor Bradley didn't have a great game. Didn't have a great game defensively. But Robbo was shocking. He was absolutely shocking today. Absolutely shocking. Curtis Jones didn't have a great game either. Curtis Jones was being asked to do things which he shouldn't really be asked to do. There's also a record on Curtis Jones as well. He's the best passer in all 5 leagues in Europe with 94.6% completion ratio. And he's also got a 99% pass completion in his own half this season. He is sticky. The ball sticks to that guy, doesn't give it away. No dumb stuff. I think he's going to have a fantastic season. I really think playing for England has helped his confidence as well. And look, we had 27 shots in that game. They had 7. There was 5 on target. We had 11. Their goalkeeper pulled off some good saves. Mo Salah had a number of shots in that game. Like chances to score. Mo Salah hit the post. Could have been a different game. It could have easily been a 5-2. And then we'd just be talking about it as, oh, it was a great result. And we can all sit here and say, oh, we bailed us out. It was a penalty. Anyone could have scored the penalty. Dominic Szoboszlai could have took the penalty. Then Dom would have got 2 goals. And then Mo would have got 1 goal. What are we saying then? What are we saying then if Dom had scored 2 and Mo had scored 1? Well, what if Darwin Núñez would have took the goal? How would you have felt then? I would have felt he'd have missed. The narrative's always Mo saves us. But the team do a lot. Like, if it wasn't for Konaté's world-class pass, sorry, if it wasn't for Gravenberch's world-class pass, sorry, not Konaté's world-class pass, Mo wouldn't have got that chance. If it wasn't for their goalkeeper just being crap and doing 2 dumb things, like passing the ball to their defender when he had a man on him and running out to try and get the ball off Mo when Mo just has to tap it underneath him, then, it's fine margins, really. Like, we can all say that he bailed us out, but he just played his game. Like, he just did what Mo does. Like, he's there to score goals. He's there to provide assists. Like, that's his job. Like, he does his job well. It's also interesting to know that the Southampton have made more errors leading to opposition goals than any other side in the Premier League. That's 7. We also had 62% possession in that game. We had 77 in the first half. Like, 10 corners. Like, we really need to do something about our set pieces, though, because we are 20th in the league at set piece conversion. It's really poor. Like, that does need to pick up. And Mo does need to get some flowers because you just look at Mo's numbers. He's on fire again. 12 goals, 12 games, 10 goals, 6 assists just in the Premier League alone. Staggering numbers. Like last season, he only got 18 goals all season. And the season before that, he only got 19. Like Mo's going to score more than he scored last year and the year before. Like, do you feel like Mo could have a 32 goal season like he did in 17-18? There's a chance. There's a chance. What you saying, Mikey? POK Mac and everyone wasn't another thing to be expected by Slot in charge. More midfielders where to score goals. Where are we regarding those stats? I'll have a look at that now. Actually, that's an interesting one. Let me just look at that. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Where's the squad? There's the squad. Okay, so actually it's not the squad, it's the 2 seconds. I need to do let me just run that. All competitions. I'm going to do all competitions actually, just to see what we get from the midfielders. So if we look at goals, obviously we've got Mo on 22 GA, we've got Diaz on 9, we've got Gapco on 6, Jota on 4, Nunes 3, Virgil's on 2, Canate's on 2, Dom's on 2. So Dom's got 4 GA this season. In 13 games he started, by the way. McAllister's got 1 goal. Curtis Jones has got 4 GA in 8 games he started. I mean, they're good numbers from Curtis. And Grab's got an assist, obviously, from the game, but Grab's playing in a different position, isn't he? Trent's got 2 GA. Costas has got goal. Costas has got an assist. Keys has got an assist. Tanner Morton's got an assist as well. I know what you wanted me to look at as well. You wanted me to look at Feyenoord. Let's have a look. I do want to have a look at their previous season and the season before that as well. I'll have a look. So let me have a look at that as well. The previous season. So Gamirez got 26 goals. He got 33 GA in slots last season. Minte got 16. He got 11 goals. Paxau is obviously, I mean, these are forwards. Gertrude scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of set pieces. Timber got 7 goals, 10 assists. Steng's got 7 goals and 13 assists. I mean, Matt Weaver got 6 goals. So did Hanchko. Like, you're not wrong. They scored a lot of goals from midfield. So you've got 7, 14. I mean, you've got 14 goals from their two centre midfielders. Actually, you got 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You got 20 goals. 20 goals came from their three midfielders. I mean, that's a huge amount. Like, you have to look at, and this is what I was trying to say before, you have to look at a Slot team. Like, he hasn't got his team. Like, maybe he doesn't think he can get the goals from midfield with what he's got. Maybe he doesn't think they're capable of scoring the amount of goals that he needs. Like, it's an interesting one because we clearly haven't scored enough goals from midfield. I mean, they score for fun. I mean, they got, I don't know how many goals they scored in total. I probably need to add that up. I also want to look at the season before because they won the league the season before. So let's have a look at all competitions the season before because they got to a final as well. Let's have a look at this. So Koku got 11 goals and 4 assists. We're linked with him as well. Sebastian Samanci got 10 goals, 7 assists. So that's 21 goals from midfield already. And then you've got Timber with 3. So that's 21, 24 goals. Weaver with 2. 25, 26. Yeah, so they got 26 goals from midfield the season before. Obviously, Koku was playing as a more advanced midfielder. Same again. 25 goals from midfield the season before. So Slot clearly wants his midfielders to score more goals, which is why he obviously has pulled up Dom and said, you need more goals. But Gravenberch needs more goals and McAllister needs more goals. Curtis Jones has been okay. Curtis Jones has got four goals. Has he got 4 goals? Has he got 4 GA? Or was it? Curtis Jones got 4 goals this season already. I'm just checking. Is it? Has he got 4 goals this season, Curtis? So Curtis has got 4 GA. So he's got 1 goal. So we've only scored. Let me just make this out. Sorry. 2, 3, 4. We've only got 4 goals in 18 games. 4 goals in 18 games this season. So if you want to kind of average that out, then we're looking at potentially 15 goals in total, which is way short. Like, but then if you're looking at the way he plays his striker, he gets 20 goals a season plus out of his striker. I feel like he's playing Mo as that player. I feel like he's using Mo as is Jimenez, as is Giménez, sorry. I think he's using Mo as the Giménez type player because he can't rely on Núñez to get him goals. Like, Núñez has got 3 this season in all competitions. Like, the goals are plenty. Like, we've scored a lot of goals already. Like, there's only one team that's got more goals than us this season, and that's Arsenal. I feel like we're fine. I'd like to see more goals from midfield. I'm sure Slot does. I'm sure that's why Slot's looking at Zubimendi. Zubimendi's already got like 4 goals this season. Zubimendi's available now and he wants to leave. His club's like 14th in the league. Like he knows that he's never going to be able to win any trophies at Real Sociedad. So I think it'll come. And I think that deal's probably already done, if I'm honest. Like from the reports that were made, there was good terms left with Hughes and directly with Zubimendi. And Liverpool understood that he just wasn't prepared to move. The time just wasn't right. Like his family didn't want to move. They're clearly in a different position now. He's obviously had time to speak to them. And he's also not been given what his club said that he'd give him. They said they'd give him a pay rise. They said they'd renew his contract. And that hasn't happened. So I think either he'll move to Liverpool or he'll move to Real Madrid. I do worry that Real Madrid might go and get him. And maybe look at using Tchouaméni as their central defender for the rest of the season. But I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But I think if he did choose a club to go to, I think he'd pick Real Madrid over Liverpool. Because he'd want to stay in Spain and they are the best club in Spain. So we'll see what happens. But the left side is an issue. We need to sort out the left side. Otherwise, we're going to have more games like Arsenal. We're going to have more games like Chelsea. He was dreadful against Chelsea. We're going to have more games like we did against Southampton. I'm sorry, it's Southampton, and you're being absolutely rinsed, making mistakes all over the place. You're not good enough. You're not good enough. Southampton are a championship side. They're a championship side, Southampton, and Robbo was absolutely made to look like a mug on many occasions in that game. Robbo could have almost been the reason why Gravenberch got his ankle broke. It was Robbo who gave the ball away for Gravenberch to then have to go in and do the dirty work and then almost get his ankle snapped by Lallana. That was Robbo's fault. Look at the replay. It was his stupid pass that put Gravenberch in a position. Yeah, I just think the guy that was 7 foot tall won a lot of headers and he pushed a lot of our players off the ball. But that's no excuse for Robbo. Robbo got done by an 18-year-old. Numerous occasions. Not good enough. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. I appreciate everyone that's tuned in. I've got full faith that we get Virgil and we get Salah signed up, and that will be a Christmas present that we'd all appreciate. I think that's another picture of Virgil standing by the Christmas tree. I also think it's a great opportunity to use them as a way to sell Christmas merch. Like why would you not buy a Mo Salah Christmas jumper if he signs a new contract? It's just a great way. We carry on. We got Real Madrid on Tuesday. They've got Vinny Jr. injured, which means they're going to play Mbappe in his natural position, which is quite scary because you've got Conor Bradley marking him. I think that's going to be quite scary. They've got a really good team. Let's not just sit there and think they're going to be easy, because they're not. They've got Courtois in goal. They've still got loads of amazing players, and they've also got Jude Bellingham in that team. They are not going to be easy. Okay, so it's going to be the hardest game of the season. I know we played Arsenal away, but Real Madrid are a different animal. So let's see what happens. I mean, the beauty of it is we're so far ahead in that league that we can actually afford to drop points and take a draw if needs be. I'm more worried. I'm more interested in the Manchester City game. Like, I wouldn't be bothered. Like, if we lost that game for Real Madrid, I just wouldn't be bothered. I couldn't care less, to be honest. Now, like, let's just get that Manchester City game won, 11 points clear. Like, I just don't think they can come back. I think if we go 11 points clear of City and then 10 points clear of Arsenal, I just don't think we're ever going to drop 3 games and City will win 3 games. I just don't see us doing that. I just don't see it. Not with this team. Nothing about Liverpool under Slot makes me think that we're going to lose many games. Nothing about it. There's goals everywhere. There's defensive actions. We keep things so tight in games still. So tight. Like, and even the goals that we've conceded have been screamers, big mistakes, penalties, set pieces. Like, we've not been cut open at all. Like, the most chances we've conceded have been from our own set pieces this season, which we really need to sort out. That is something we could really work on. Stop overcommitting players, because we get caught on the break a lot from set pieces. It's happened a number of times. Happened with Chelsea, happened with Villa, happened with Ipswich, happened with Wolves, happened with Brighton. But then we did it with Brighton as well, then we went the opposite way. It also happened with Forest. So yeah, we need to work on that. That's something we could do with tidying up. But no more international breaks for a while, and a couple of home games on the bounce. 2 unbelievable home games for the fans. Real Madrid and then Manchester City. Insane. I'll tell you what will be funny. It'll be funny if Manchester City get beat by Feyenoord and then Liverpool beat them. So Slot's old team beats them and then we beat them with Slot. That would be hilarious. That'd be a really funny one to go at Pep with. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the show. I will catch you soon. I'm out of here. Up the Reds.